Today we're going to discuss the Mosconi Cup 2020 and the break that pretty much every single pro was using at that tournament. And we're going to ask one question. Is that break a viable option to play 9-ball on a 7-foot bar box? Mosconi Cup 2020 did not disappoint this year. I try not to take a side. I just want to see really strong competitive pool and some emotion. And you got all of that this year. Even though that the score really doesn't reflect how the Americans played, there was a lot of hill matches. I'm really happy for Team Europe and congratulations. Now, one thing I noticed was that pretty much every single player was breaking from the exact same spot. Didn't matter if they were from Team USA or Team Europe, they pretty much all agreed that was where they wanted to be breaking from. So, cue ball on the line, just off the rail, and they were bridging, their bridge hand was on that side of the diamond. So, I've got some footage put together here, and let's take a look and see the results they were getting. So the pros were obviously having a lot of success breaking from that exact spot. But how about breaking on a 7-foot? In the past years, 9-ball on a 7-foot has gained an incredible amount of fanfare. I myself, I've played the game of 9-ball for decades, but I've always played on a 9-foot. Over the course of this past week, it is literally the most I have ever played 9-ball on a 7-foot table. That being said, lots of people enjoy going down to Las Vegas for the VNEA and the BCA and playing 9-ball on the 7-foots. Did I have as much success breaking from that spot? Well, the answer is complicated, but let me give you an example. Right off the hop, I realized that my table was dirty and the balls were dirty too, so I had a hard time racking the balls for 9-ball. Played a lot of 8-ball, don't have a problem there, but 9-ball, they just weren't racking well. Also, I pattern racked it so I could get some consistency. So for every one of these breaks, the 4-ball is the wing ball. So watch for the 1-ball squirting over. I didn't have a hard time doing that. My cue ball control, whoa, needed a lot of work. I realized right away that I actually have never really practiced any sort of cut break. Quite a few times I lost the cue ball. I managed to get a ball, but I never got the wing ball, which is the one that I'm supposed to be getting. frustration was setting in. So far, some key learnings are the felt matters. Okay, my felt on my table, you can take a look. It's really worn. I really do need it to be refelted. 2, the balls were dirty and it made a difference. I couldn't rack. I had a lot of problems racking the balls. Well, I was starting to get desperate, so I decided to do something that had to be done. I had to wash those balls. Let's take a look how successful I was after I cleaned the balls and I cleaned the table. So I started asking questions locally here on the Facebook group in our pool chats, and a local player, James Weeby here in Edmonton, suggested I grab a magic rack. He said it would help me show how the balls are actually supposed to react when you hit them. It provides consistency, and that would be a good basis and moving from there. So I decided to give it a shot. This is the story. I had gone from not having very much success at all, then I cleaned the balls, cleaned the felt, and I had a little bit more success. It made a difference. Then I went to the magic rack and I went all the way to making a ball every time, and 95% of the time I was making the wing ball, the one I wanted to make, every time. So it made a huge difference. So that's going to factor in to our answer. Is this a viable break for a 7-foot bar box? What's my final answer? Well, my final answer is it depends. Let's break the leagues apart, okay? Let's do BCA. In BCA, you are allowed to have a magic rack down at that tournament. So my answer is yes, this is absolutely a viable break. However, I'm sure there's some mad scientists out there that know how to pattern rack, that using the magic rack, and they're going to find a different break that they're much happier with than perhaps this cut break. Just because the pros at the Mosconi use this break doesn't mean they're going to use this break on a 7-foot bar box tournament where they can use a magic rack. There's people that are much smarter out there that would find a better rack than this. But in the end, it's your choice. Now, for V&EA, I'm going to have to say it really depends. First of all, you need to take a look at your conditions. If you go up to a table, is the felt slick? Is it fast? Is it newer felt? 2, are the balls clean? It makes a difference. The rack is everything. In V&EA, you can't use the magic rack. So you really have to make sure you have the proper conditions that are going to allow you to make a rack and a break like this work for you consistently. Because down there in that tournament, guys are running racks. They've got it figured out. So I myself, I don't like this break. I played 9-ball for over 2 decades, and I always break from the other side of the table. So if I did use a side break like this, it would be from the other side of the table, and I wouldn't do any sort of cut. For me, the most comfortable thing is to hit that rack hard and try to leave that cue ball in the center of the table where it gives me the most options. I don't like the fact that the cue ball comes on this side of the table and the fellas are wanting to have the 1 ball down here, because I saw it a number of times where, you know, you ended up, and then guys were having to play safe or they had to play a bank, and I don't like it. I just don't like it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun making this one. The Mosconi Cup was so much fun to watch this year. I wanted to make a video discussing what had happened there. Something I didn't talk about was that friction between Shaw and Shane Van Bonen. Awesome. That stuff, even though it can be tense for the players, that is great for the sport. That only helps to grow our game. So that kind of stuff, that soap opera, more. So if you liked that video, please hit that like button and subscribe, and hit the bell notification for future alerts. That really tells YouTube that you like what I do here on this channel. Thank you, and I'll catch you on the flip side.